Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source. Did not take me long to get back on the wagon. I had a 6-day NBA winning streak. That got busted on Monday night, but then last night, I jumped right back on it. 5-2, great night. Let's keep it going. NBA Wednesday, there are 10 games on tonight. Let's pick our spots and be smart. Let's get into it.
Welcome to The Source. The Source. Hey, get the Source.
First up, San Antonio on the road in Charlotte. This is a 7 p.m. start. Totals all the way up at 243.5. Not much defense being expected in this one. This line was Charlotte minus 6.5, but it jumps up to 7 because public is heavy on the Hornets here. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Charlotte minus 9.39. So we're looking at about a 2.5 point lean on the Hornets. So I started off with looking at the Spurs shot frequency recently. I want to know what this offense has been doing. So over the past 3 weeks, they are 6th in shot frequency at the rim, 9th from mid-range, and 26th from 3. Basically, San Antonio is not settling for 3-point shots. They are attacking. The teams that closely resemble that kind of offense would be the Bulls, the Rockets, and the Lakers. So why don't we start off by taking a look at how Charlotte has performed against those 3 teams recently. Hornets have played those 3 teams 6 times this year, and they are 3-3. They're 500 in those games, but they've only won by 7 or more once. So if you slap a minus 7 point spread on those games, Charlotte would be just 1-5 against the spread. I hate that Trey Jones and Devin Vassell are still out for San Antonio. They both missed multiple games. Devin Vassell's been out for a while. I'm waiting for them to come back, but in the meantime, this kid, Milwaukee Branham, is balling right now. Since Branham took over as the starter 7 games ago, he's second on the team in scoring behind Keldon Johnson, 17.4 points per game. He's shooting 49% from the floor and 40% from 3. This kid's 19 years old. So I'm going to bet on him. I'm taking Milwaukee Branham over 13.5 points. I'm also taking San Antonio. Give me the Spurs plus 7 next game. Bulls on the road in Indiana to play the Pacers. This is a 7 p.m. tip. Total sitting at 231.5. Line is Indiana minus 2.5, and the public is heavy on the Pacers here. Everyone's betting Indiana, but the line still never moves. We're still looking at 2.5, something to keep an eye on. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Indiana plus 6.49. So we're looking at a 9-point lean on the Bulls there. Neither of these teams have won a basketball game in 10 full days. 10 days since either of these teams grabbed the win. Someone's getting one tonight. Bulls have lost 4 straight, but honestly, 3 of those losses are kind of excusable. They lost to Orlando, but everyone's losing to Orlando. They lost at Cleveland. Cavs in Cleveland's an automatic loss. And the other one's at Memphis. Memphis is dominating the Eastern Conference. Really, the only bad loss recently for the Bulls was against the Brooklyn Nets, but the Nets are definitely catching teams off guard right now. Pacers are just 2-16 in their last 18 basketball games. I thought things would turn around and then we'd get back to winning once Halliburton returned to the lineup. I was wrong. They're just 1-6 since he came back. Here's the mismatch that really pushes me towards Chicago here. So what do we know about the Pacers offense? They shoot the 3 a lot. They're 7th in the NBA in 3-point frequency. Want to know who's first in the NBA in defensive efficiency against the 3 by far? Yeah, the Chicago Bulls. So in the last 3 weeks, you got a team that's shooting a ton of 3s against a team that nobody can hit 3s against. In fact, the Bulls defense is playing lights out all around. In the last 3 weeks, they're 3rd in overall defensive efficiency in the entire league, behind just Cleveland and Milwaukee. DeMar DeRozan is out for the Bulls, and that sucks. But the truth is, he hasn't really been playing as well as we're used to seeing from him. In his last 7 games, he's only scored more than 20 points once. I think DeRozan being out has definitely given us a few extra points here. We're getting Chicago plus 2.5 against a bad Pacers team. I'm on the Bulls. Give me Chicago plus 2.5 next game. Next up is Pistons at Celtics. Honestly, I'm just gonna skip this game. There's just so many question marks. Injuries for Boston, ready? Marcus Smart, Derek White, Al Horford, and Jason Tatum, all questionable. Jaylen Brown, obviously still out. Just too many moving pieces. I'd love to bet Boston, and I might later, but as of right now, I'm just skipping it. Next game. Miami on the road in Brooklyn, 7:30 p.m. start. This total all the way down at 211.5. You don't see many NBA totals that low anymore. This line was Brooklyn plus 1, but it actually moves to Brooklyn minus 1.5, a 2.5 point swing. Is someone from Miami going to sit, or is that just a reaction to all this sharp money on Brooklyn? Because 94% of the money is actually on the Nets as of earlier today. Let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, and check this out, The line for this game should be Brooklyn minus 1.59. So right where the books have it, that just shows you analytically this Nets team, this new Nets team minus superstars and just a bunch of role players, they're analytically pretty good. As far as matching these two teams up on the court, I think this really comes down to the second unit for me. There's no question that if you just line up the starting five for Miami next to the starting five for Brooklyn, it's clear that the Miami Heat are the more talented squad. But Miami Heat still dealing with injuries. Tyler Hero is now out. That's a new one. He just got hurt a few days ago. Kyle Lowry and Victor Oladipo both still out. That's going to cut this Heat rotation razor thin for this matchup. Look at the projected minutes here for the Heat. You got Haywood Highsmith, that guy Bouye, and Orlando Robinson. That's going to see who's going to see the bulk of the minutes off the bench from Miami. Look at the projected minutes for Brooklyn. Never mind the starters. Don't even look at the starters. Look at all these pieces coming off the bench. Cam Thomas, Ben Simmons, Royce O'Neal, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Watanabe, Patty Mills. I mean, they have so many pieces to throw into the rotation to keep those legs fresh on the court at all times. I've been betting Miami on the road a lot this year, and I'm fading them. I'm taking the young guns. I'm taking the deeper team at home. Give me Brooklyn minus 1.5 next game. Knicks on the road in Atlanta, 7:30 p.m. start. Total sitting at 233.5. Line was Atlanta minus 2.5, but actually it's jumped up to 3 and now 3.5. We got a pros versus public look here. Public is definitely on the Hawks. Sharp money definitely all over the Knicks. So let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Atlanta plus 2.05. So you're looking at a 5.5 point lean on the New York Knicks. On paper, this matchup is dope for the Knicks. I mean, the Hawks defensively, they do a great job of protecting the rim. Where they struggle is against the mid-range shot and the outside shot. Want to see the Knicks shot distribution over the last 3 weeks? They're 11th from 3, 8th from mid-range, and just 26 at the rim. This Knicks team doesn't really attack the basket. And the Knicks defense also has a mismatch here. Atlanta, the three-point shot just has not been there for the Hawks. In the last 3 weeks, Atlanta's just 28th in shot frequency from 3-point. Hawks have been taking most of their shots at the rim or from mid-range. Want to know the Knicks defensive numbers at the rim over the last 3 weeks? 3rd in the NBA. So matchup-wise, Knicks plus 3.5 is the play, but I hate the spot. You got the Knicks, they won 4 of their last 5, 2 wins in a row, and you got Atlanta coming off on an embarrassing upset loss to Charlotte. Sharp money on the Knicks, and they still move the line towards Atlanta. I hate that. I hate that I'm doing this. I'm fading my guys. Everyone knows I'm a Knicks fan. I'm fading them here. Give me the Hawks minus 3.5 next game. Cavs are in Philly, 7:30 p.m. start. This total, another low total here, down at 216.5. Line is Philly minus 2.5, and it stays there all morning. We got another pros versus public look here. Public definitely leading Philadelphia. Sharp money definitely all over the Cavs. Now let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Philly plus 4.73. So huge lean on Cleveland here. As soon as I saw this matchup, I knew I was betting the Cavs here. The only reason I faded the Cavs the other night is because they were laying 15 to the Spurs, and it was kind of a look-ahead spot for them. That bet cash, Spurs covered. Now it's time to get back to betting the hottest team in the NBA. Cleveland's now won 7 or 8 in a row, something like that, and most of them are blowouts. They're just beating the shit out of teams. I know the Sixers have won 3 in a row themselves, and let's give them some credit, but I watched 2 of those games, the Knicks game and the Nets game. I watched both of them start to finish. Philly really didn't look good. They had to come from behind to win both of those. Cavs are scorching hot, not overthinking it, just betting the hottest team in the NBA. Give me Cleveland plus 2.5 next game. Update, right before uploading this video, this line moved from Philly minus 2.5 to Philly plus 1. I'm guessing that Joel Embiid is going to sit. Wait to place this bet. I'll tweet it out when I know. Utah on the road in Memphis. We got an 8 p.m. tip time here. Totals all the way up at 239. This line opened up Memphis minus 7.5, but public is all over the Grizzlies here. Books react and move it up to 8.5. So let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Memphis minus 5.54. So we're looking at a 3-point lead towards Utah here. Spoiler alert, I'm going to fade the Grizzlies here. I really just don't trust this team right now. 8.5 is way too big of a number for me. This team just really, keep in mind, the Grizzlies are 3-9 in their last 12. They're really not winning a lot of basketball games. This team just really hasn't been the same since Steven Adams went down. And Utah's kind of on an upswing. It looked like the Jazz were about to fade out of the Western playoff picture, right? They lost 3 in a row. They moved Mike Conley. They grabbed Russell Westbrook, who they're rumored to be buying out. So it looks like they were just about to sail off into the sunset. But then they go on the road, beat Toronto. Then they go into MSG, almost beat the Knicks. And then they go on the road to Indiana and beat the Pacers. Here they are on a nice little road trip. And it's looking like this team's playing with some new energy. Ready for this? Over the last 3 weeks, the Memphis Grizzlies, think of all the talent on that team. The Memphis Grizzlies are just 24th in the NBA in offensive efficiency. You'd think with Steven Adams out that it would be the rebounding or the defense that takes a hit. No, this offense is very inefficient right now. Definitely not one of my favorite bets of the night, but I think people are still handicapping the Memphis Grizzlies as if it's early January. It's not. It's February and the Grizzlies are struggling, so give me those points. I'll take Utah plus 8.5 next game. Next up is Rockets versus Oklahoma City. This one's in OKC, and I'm actually skipping this one. On paper, OKC should win and cover this number. But Houston has actually played the Thunder tough this year. The Rockets have beaten OKC twice this season already, and I'm just not comfortable laying 10 there. So I'm skipping it. If you really want to place a bet on this game, I would lean towards the over 234. Next game. Dallas on the road in Denver here. This one's a 9 p.m. start. Total set at 233.5. This line opened up Denver -8, but it's dropped all the way to Denver -5. Most likely, that means Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray are going to sit again. They both sat the last 2 games, I believe. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Sharp money is on Denver early, but if you take a look, it looks like the books are actually taking Dallas action all morning. So we really need to keep an eye on this one. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Denver -5.67, so really no lean there at all. Like I said, I'm waiting for injury reports on this one, but I almost definitely will not be taking Dallas in this spot. The Nuggets are 20-1 in their last 21 home games. I have a hard time fading the Nuggets at home, so most likely I'm going to be on Denver, but I'm waiting to see injury reports and see what the line does. Next game, Pelicans on the road in LA to play the Lakers. This is a 10 p.m. start. Total is set at 234.5. Line opens up Lakers -2.5. And check this out. Early action is definitely on the Pelicans, but look at the books taking all this Laker action as the morning progresses, and they react to it. We're now looking at Lakers minus a full 4. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Los Angeles minus 0.65, so that would be a 3.5-point lean on New Orleans. I am not placing a bet on this game till I see if LeBron James is playing. I got bit by that twice in a row in the last 2 Lakers games. I thought he was going to play. He didn't. This is the last Laker game before the All-Star break, so I can 100% see him sitting to grab an extra 8 days rest. I think CJ McCollum's going to sit as well for New Orleans, and Brandon Ingram, when he's on the floor without McCollum and Zion, his usage rate is out of control. It's up at a 35, which would put him 5th or 6th in the NBA. His point total is set at 25.5. I'm probably going to take that over, not only because his usage rate goes up without those other 2 guys on the court, but also he's in LA playing his former team, the Lakers. I'm sure he wants to show out. As far as picking a side, if LeBron plays, I will lay the 4 here. I will definitely bet the Lakers. If he doesn't, I'll just stay off the side and take the Ingram prop. If anything changes with any of these bets, I will let you know on Twitter, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the final tickets, and I've been hot, 7 of the last 8 days have been winning days. I give out top bet, parlay of the day, and then a full list of all the bets I'm placing. If you're interested in that, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. NBA Wednesdays, let's have ourselves a night. I have not done well on Wednesdays this year. In fact, last Wednesday was the first winning NBA Wednesday I had in the previous 4. So let's keep it going. We're seeing the board well. Let's put up another green night. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you on Twitter.